president and founder of Paws Animal Wildlife Sanctuary, and I also work with Wayward Rabbits.
And I'm Teresa. I'm a volunteer with Paws Wildlife and Wayward Rabbits.
And I'm Karen. I'm also a volunteer with Paws Wildlife and Wayward Rabbits.
So Paws is a wildlife sanctuary, and we have done work with most all species of wildlife for the last 20 years in South Carolina. And you may be wondering why we are working with domestic bunnies, and that's because we get phone calls from DNR, animal control, and other agencies that find themselves in a situation where domestic bunnies are in trouble and they need a rescue to step up and help. Unfortunately, there are not enough rescues in the state of South Carolina to handle all of the requests for help. Paws has gotten into all of the different species because we find that there's a gap in care and we're trying to fill that gap. Domestic bunnies obviously needed help and there weren't enough rescues to help, and so that's when we started a domestic rabbit division of Paws called Wayward Rabbits. And Karen and Teresa stepped up as co-founders of this division to help us meet the needs of bunnies in crisis.
I became involved with Paws Wildlife after following her on Facebook, and I sent her an email, said I wanted to volunteer. And I am 2 years later, so I have done all sorts of things. I've rehabbed wild cottontails. I've just learned a lot, and it's been quite amazing.
I met Mac through Ann Paleo, I don't know if you remember that, but from Carolina Wildlife Center, which is here in Irmo. I was interested in doing fawns, and she said Mac was the best at that. So I got in touch with her, and I think I did one fawn, but then I ended up doing squirrels and possums. And then she told me about this rabbit division, and I really had always wanted to be involved with domestic rabbits, and that is how I got involved with Wayward.
When did Wayward Rabbits officially start?
We actually had taken in a few bunnies previously, but we officially kicked off Wayward, I think it was August 15th
Yeah, August, I believe so.
of 2021. So Wayward hasn't been officially in work for a year yet. We're still under a year. The question I always try to answer when I'm talking to anybody about our organization is, what's different about us? What's special about us? There could be a ton of wildlife groups. There could be a ton of bunny rescues. What's different about us? One of the things that we focus on a lot with our bunnies is the emotional healing that they need. Our bunnies come from really bad scenarios. We don't take owner surrenders simply because we don't have the space to do all of that. Our bunnies have come from really bad scenarios. They've been abused, they've been neglected. It's the bunny version of hell. And so a lot of them come with emotional damage that we need to work on. So it's not just the healing of the body, we're trying to heal their soul and their mind as well.
How does the process work? How, if someone knows of a bunny in need, how do they help or how get help?
Generally, if it's a member of the public, oftentimes they found a dumped bunny in their neighborhood or whatever, and they will contact us either through our phone number, through text, or on our Facebook page. We also have a email address, but mostly it seems like people, the Facebook page or the phone number, and they tell us, you know, I've found this rabbit, whatever the situation is. We ask them to send pictures. We ask them if they can catch it or if they've already caught it, you know, try to get as much background information. And we will take it from them. Mac does the intake. So we have intake paperwork that they fill out, even if they don't know anything about the bunny, just to give us as much information as we can. And then we get them through whatever medical care they need. And then after they're kind of stable from that and they're recovered, we get them spayed and neutered. And then they go out to foster homes where the emotional issues are worked on and they learn how to live as a house bunny, because we do only adopt out to indoor homes. So.
Okay. How does the foster system work? How many foster homes do you have?
Technically, we're the fosters. We're just going at a slow pace at getting them in, getting them situated. I've got 7 bunnies at my home in care. And
I have, however many are here, plus my 3, 8 right
8.
now, yeah.
and we're slowly going through the process of getting fosters. We've got one that's approved, and she's getting ready to take one. So we need more fosters.
And
It's
we-
just hard to find them.
One of the reasons that it's taking us a bit longer to find fosters is we aren't looking for people to just put one of these bunnies in a hutch that they might have vacant outside. These are going to be companion animals. They're going to be living in a house. They come with emotional damage. They may or may not use litter boxes. So the fosters we're looking for are very specific, and it's a job. It's something that they need to work at. It's not just housing them until we find a home. It's actually a part of our process in preparing the bunnies to have a good life as a companion animal. Foster or adopt, there is an application process, and it's actually the same process for adopters and fosters. We do check references, we do check the homes by doing a home visit. We're very particular. It doesn't have to be a spotless, a magazine type home. We're looking for a home with love that will be caring for the animals in the proper way. And we do look for indoor homes because these bunnies have already been neglected many times. They were neglected in a hutch somewhere. And so we're trying to give them the best possible home. And he's totally stealing this moment. And that's all right. He's doing his job. He's doing his part for today. Look how cute bunnies are.
Aw. And for fosters, we do provide training and materials, so,
Materials,
yeah.
Fosters get first choice
Mhm.
of the bunnies that they might decide to later adopt.
Mhm.
So sometimes you can think of it as a try before you buy to find the right fit. And we always tell our own people the new bunnies coming in first. So sometimes they don't ever get posted on our Facebook page as adoptable because they're already adopted. So that's the advantage to being on the inside.
Yeah, yeah.
That is called a foster fail.
It is. I have 3.
I have 3 too.
I only have 2, but I've got 14 others, so, you know, they just rotate.
And we'll also do foster, like if someone is thinking of adopting a bunny, they want to make sure it's okay, you know, it's something that they really want to get into, we'll do a foster to adopt, where we sign the foster contract first, and then if they said, I want to adopt them, we'll, you know.
Do you give out educational material
Yes.
too? Okay.
We have a big, a folder with all education.
And obviously, if they've got questions, they can ask, and we'll help
Right,
yeah.
along the way, too. So.
And that's something we do in our home visits also. You know, we look and see what setup they're going to use, and we try to give them tips. You know, afterward, we've had several people after they adopt, they stay in touch and they ask questions. We're always there. In other words, we don't just say,
Even
well, here's the
after,
bunny.
yeah.
Bye.
Good luck.
Yeah, yeah.
At this moment right now, how many bunnies are in care with Wayward Rabbit?
I think we're up to 24.
I think 24. Sometimes we have to turn bunnies away,
Because we're full.
'Cause
We
we're
just
full,
can't-
yeah. and we try to send them to other places that we know of that possibly could help. But
If someone wanted to make a donation to Wayward Rabbits to help the rabbits here or the rabbits that are going to be coming, they could message you on Facebook, reach out in the email. Do you have an Amazon wish list?
We do.
Okay. Is there anything else that you guys would need help with as far as donations or supplies?
We are actually trying to start raising money for our next round of RHDV vaccinations, because we do vaccinate them before adoption for RHDV. So that's, I guess, the next thing we're kind of working on.
If someone wanted to volunteer, how do they get in contact with you, and what's the process of becoming a volunteer with you?
you get in touch with us through Facebook. Messenger. We have a phone number. They can text or call. We send them an application, and we just work out details.
Another one of our goals is to educate current rabbit owners, because we have a lot of people contact us and they love their rabbits. They even keep them inside. They want to do well by them, but they just are not aware. They haven't had access to resources that tell them how to properly take care of a house rabbit. So we definitely try to do that. We have people contact us and ask lots of questions about rabbits that they have, and we definitely help those people too. So it's not just people, you know, that adopt from us. We found with our events and everything, I mean, a lot of people are even surprised that you can keep them inside. They're like, really? They're inside? And so we try to describe to them, you know, they are like a dog or a cat, or very similar. You can have them inside. They're great companions and they're great pets. And so yeah, education of current rabbit owners. We don't just concentrate on people who've never had them. Yeah.
And so they can be litter trained,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
and they can learn how to do tricks.
Exactly.
Mhm.
They can learn their name. Go and call. Yeah.
And they know you.
Yeah,
They know the
yes,
owner.
yes,
Yep.
definitely. And some of them, like, they don't all like to be picked up, but, you know, I have one that likes to snuggle, Blue. And I have two that I have to get down on the floor, but they'll come up to me and pet. You know, they want to be petted, they just don't want me to pick them up. So it's all different personalities.
Mhm.
So,
And some people don't realize what all you can do with a rabbit. So we like to do educational videos where they're playing in a pen and they're playing with toys, and what toys. People don't even know that you can get toys for bunnies. So we want to make sure that no bunny ever gets dumped. And if people are more educated and aware of what you can do with bunnies, that may help that bunny retain its home.
Where do you see Wayward Rabbits in 5 years?
I've thought about this. Yeah, I think Wayward is going to be all over the state of South Carolina. I would love to have branches or divisions in other states. I think it would be good if they were neighboring states so that we could go back and forth. But I think this thing is going to take off because I think we've got a really solid group of people here. We have drive, we care about these bunnies, and we're not going to do a halfway job by them. And I think it's going to grow. I think it's going to grow. Maybe we won't take over the entire United States in 5 years, but we're going places.